Welcome to today's broadcast of the junior varsity game between the Dubuque Saints and the Des Moines Oakleafs. Oakleafs JV comes into the game 4th in the Midwest Hockey League with 28 points. Dubuque JV comes in 6th, tied for 6th actually, with Quad Cities and Lincoln all at 20 points. The Oakleafs are led in scoring by number 15, Anderson Shizzle. He's got 19 goals in 19 games, so we'll keep an eye on him today. Saints are led by Cody Sweeney, scoring 9 goals, 7 assists in 16 games. And the looks of it, we'll see Wyatt Merck in goal for the Oakleafs. And it looks like Colton Stoll is headed to the pipes for the Saints.
Good evening and welcome to Dubuque Ice Arena. It is time for our JV matchup.
Saints will start the line of Callan Meserich, Sammy Ruiz, and Cody Sweeney with Cam Spangler, Nolan Kretz on defense. And like I said, Mr. Stoll will man the blue paint. And the puck's down. Back into the Des Moines defensive zone. Meserich will give a little chase there. Des Moines will try and break it out. Held in by Sweeney. Shot on net. Tip just wide. Sweeney with the forecheck. Back, Sammy Ruiz. And he'll try and dump it down to the zone. Fought forward to neutral ice. Oakleafs will play it up. Into center ice. They'll take the zone. Cam Spangler carries the puck up the ice. She'll hit Meserich, who'll dump it in and go for a change. Nico Ruiz at the pucks. Now we've got Xander Sheehy carrying it down the ice. Sheehy through center ice. We'll get tripped up a little bit. Into the zone. Bryce Besson steps up. He'll dangle in front of the net. Helped to the ice by the Oakleafs defense. And they'll play it around the boards up to Corbin Deutsch. Deutsch will pressure down below the goal line. Oakleafs will go back, attempt to break it out. Besson with the hold. Back to the blue line. Into the Oakleafs offensive zone. We'll drop it back to the trailing forward. Work it down low in front of the net. Chipped up, saved by Stoll. Nico Ruiz out to Corbin Deutsch. Deutsch dumps it in. He'll go for a change. Cody Cruiser on defense, but he'll give a little chase. Joseph Rock comes in, steals the puck. Shot just wide. Fired around the back of the net by the Leafs. They'll attempt to break it out. Into central ice. Referee Blondin waves off the icing call. We've got Blaze Seegers carrying it down the ice. He'll get it up to center ice. Carrying it into the zone. Takes it wide. Fired in front of the net. Just deflected off. Michael Pools forces it down deep to Joseph Ross. The Leafs will steal it. Attempt to break it out. They do force it out, but it's knocked back in. Back to center ice. The Oakleafs will take possession into their offensive zone. Fed back to their D. Fired. Saved by Stoll. Puck goes to the corner. Deflected in front of the net before that shot got on. Chipped off the boards by Jackson Heacock, but held in by the Leafs. Not sure who's running the score clock, but we've got no shots on goal so far, 3 minutes into the game. Joseph Ross will carry it up the boards. He'll chip it high, and it'll go the length for an icing call. So 11:54 in the first period. And we get our first look at the Gadman Netherly, CJ Mueller, Chase Poles line. Netherly ends up back to Spangler. Spangler plays it behind the net to Kretz. Up to Poles. That's a tick-tock breakout. Nice job, boys. And they've lost control and forced it back into the defensive zone. Poles has got it now at center ice. He'll carry it in, take a shot on net. Oh, just over. Nice save by the Des Moines goaltender, and it's going to go up and out of play. Still no shots on goal. I'm sure those scorekeepers will get it figured out eventually. Or maybe they won't. Faceoff's coming outside the zone. Not sure why. That was clearly off the goaltender, but one back. The Saints will dump it in. That's Nolan Kretz with the dump in behind the net. Leafs to try and break it out. Long breakout pass knocked down by Netherly. Netherly centers to Foles, who makes it just wide. CJ Mueller carrying her on the back of the net. He'll fire it across. Still in. Oakleafs will get it clear. Back to Ruiz. Ruiz gets it to length. Oaks touch it up. And we'll try to break it out. Fanned on the breakout attempt. Saints get enough pressure there. Held in by Sweeney momentarily. Leafs walk it out to center ice. Big hit by Sammy Ruiz. Bryce Beshin does a little dangle. Gets it up to center ice. Beshin gets a little physical there in front of the bench. Ruiz off to Sweeney. Sweeney into the zone to Meserich. Meserich carries it wide. Tries to avoid the ref. Wrapped around the net. That's Cruiser down there, fired in front of the net. Chip just wide. Race to the half boards. The Oaks win it, but play it in, and they've got it out to center ice. Beshin back to clean it up. Stolen. Walk in front of that. Fed. Goal. Goal by number 20 for the Oakleafs. That's Roland Coker. So, bad turnover there in front of the net. Oaks stole it, walked it behind the net, and fed it to a wide open man in front. Puck comes down to the Saints' defensive zone. It's Xander Sheehy behind the net. He'll take a trip, as he's been known to do. Puck stuck on the back of the net. And as I said, he's going to go to the box for tripping. Number 22. 22 is Cooper Bird. He'll go to the box and he'll feel shame. Faceoff will come down to the right of the Oaks tender. Faceoff one back behind the Oaks net. Joseph Ross will carry around back there. We'll set it up on the power play up to Meserich. Meserich over to Beshin. Beshin to Meserich. They'll try and bump it to Sammy Ruiz. Control lost. It'll be played back. Sweeney's got it in the middle. He loses the handle for a second. Meserich back to Beshin. Beshin up to Sweeney. Sweeney up to Ruiz. On to Ross. Ross carries it in. He'll maintain control. Bump it back to Sweeney. Sweeney challenged on the sideboards there. Little attempt to clear. It's held in by Sweeney. Sweeney walks it. Gets to the dot. Still walking. Shoots. Saved by the goaltender. Just over the net. Back. Sweeney's got control again. He'll drop it off for Meserich. Meserich will walk into the net. Shot. Smack the goalie right in the face. That, however, does not count for any points. Ross now. Ross will drop it off for Meserich. Meserich over to Beshin. Beshin over to Sweeney. Sweeney walks to the middle. Ruiz just wide. Joseph Ross battles for it behind the net. The Oaks with plenty of time to collect, and they'll clear it and send it the length of the ice. Stoll will go over and play it. Up to Beshin. Beshin tries to make the quick turn. Up to Sweeney. Off to Ross. Ross back to Sweeney.
5 players! They've got 5 players!
Everyone is informing the ref that they've got too many men.
Too many men on the ice! Yeah, I think they can see it.
So the ref's saying he's got a high stick as well. We've got too many men on the ice and a high stick call, I believe, being called here. So there's going to be a bit of a crowd over in the Des Moines box. I see the scorekeepers have managed to get a shot up for each team. Maybe severely understating it. Des Moines will skate 5-on-3 for a full 2 minutes. One of those penalties will expire in 24 seconds, but that player will not be allowed to leave the bench. For a team that struggled to put shots on the board, it'll be interesting to see if they get that right. 5-on-3, we've got Ross, Ruiz, and Meserich out with Sweeney and Beshin on defense. Saints win the puck but can't hold it in. It'll go back to the defensive zone. Stoll gets a handle on it. He'll play it off to Beshin. Beshin around the back. Up to Sweeney. Sweeney carries it through the neutral zone. Up to Ross. Ross gets it in. He'll work it deep. Fires it back to Beshin, who loses the handle on it. And we've got a foot race here. Sammy Ruiz running him down. Save by Stoll. Dubuque's got an advantage here. We're coming up 4-on-2. Sweeney off to Meserich. Meserich carries it behind the net. Works it out. He'll try and get it to Nolan Kretz. Kretz back to Meserich. Meserich works it out of the corner up to Kretz. Kretz down to Meserich. That's Joseph Ross behind the net now. He'll deal to Sammy Ruiz. Ruiz up to Sweeney. Sweeney tries to walk it, loses the handle, regains control. He'll get it over to Nolan Kretz. Kretz and Meserich play a little game of catch. Again. Shot on net, just wide. Tipped wide. Sammy Ruiz will regroup. He'll walk it in, leave it for Sweeney. Sweeney with a shot. Deflected in front of the net by Ross. Meserich will recollect. Send it to Kretz. Kretz to Meserich. Meserich walks it, leaves it for Kretz. Kretz loses his footing. Gets it down low. Round the back to Ruiz. And the Oaks will clear. Clear the length of the ice. Still get some fresh legs on. Stoll will go over and leave it for Meserich. Meserich down the ice to Sweeney. Sweeney through center ice. He'll try and get it deep. Oaks will clear it back down to Beshin. Beshin up to Ross. Saints really struggling on this 5-on-3. And the Oaks will get one man back. Now we got Ross coming in. He'll get a shot saved by the Oaks goalie, and it's out of play. So not a lot happening on that 5-on-3. Saints possessed it, but not a lot of quality shots on net. Matter of fact, if you look at the scoreboard, there's still one shot to one shot. 10 seconds left on the Oaks power play, or on the Saints power play, that is. Heacock wins it back. Deutsch will lose the handle on it. The Oaks will clear. Xander Sheehy takes it behind the net. He'll walk it around. Run into a little difficulty there. Drag down, but no call. Deutsch tries to walk it out. He'll clear it. Sheehy will press. Nolan Kretz will lose possession. Oaks will walk in and score. So another costly turnover in the defensive zone, and the Oaks make him pay. Coming through the 5-by-line first, it looks like that's number 34. 34 is Tommy Kinney. Oh, 4-3 shots on goal now. So face off one, back to Dubuque. That'll be Cruiser carrying it up. Unassisted goal there. Oaks will force it wide. They've got a 2-on-1 going in the other direction with Beshin back. Cruiser drops it back in. He'll help out, and Beshin makes a nice defensive play. Forces the player to the boards. Chipped up. Another little give chase. That's stolen by Chase Pulls. He'll carry it in deep. Pulls and Netherly work it. It's stolen, and the Oaks will carry it the other way. Into the zone. Cruiser with a nice body check. It's work down low. Seegers up to Pulls. Pulls will play it out to center ice. We'll mishandle the puck there. We'll battle at center ice. Mueller will get it back to Seegers. He'll play it up to Ross. Ross gets a shot. Saved. Looked like it went into the glass. Controlled by the Oaks. They'll try and play it out. Held in by Heacock. Heacock to Henry. Shot and a goal. Joseph Ross. The big goal. So the Saints get one back. Got a score of 2-1 now. 4:04 left in the first period. Face off one. By the Oaks, they'll push it forward.
For your Dubuque Saints, number 6, Joe Ross.
Messerich will carry it down the ice. He'll get a shot on net. Deflected wide. Sweeney back to Messerich. Messerich gets a shot. Stolen by the Oaks, and they'll try and break it out. Up to center ice. Back to Beshin. Beshin works it back. We got Sammy Ruiz carrying it into the zone. Sammy carries it wide. Chips it over to Sweeney. Sweeney with the shot on net. Chicken wing. Saved by the Leafs goalie. Saints will send out a late change. We'll get Xander Sheehy out there centering Corbin Deutsch and Michael Poles. Sheehy with the faceoff back to Spangler. Spangler takes a shot. Gets caught up in the Oaks sleeves, and they'll come the other way 3-on-1 against Nolan Kretz. Kretz lays it down. Nice save by Stoll. Beautiful defensive play on Kretz to take the body and lay down on that 3-on-1, and Stoll with a nice cross crease save. Kills a great opportunity. We'll go at it again, this time from the Saints defensive zone. Sheehy loses the draw. Back to the Oaks defense. He'll go to the corner. Kretz has got it there. He'll play it off the boards. Held in by the Oaks D. Played up to Sheehy at center ice. He'll get rubbed off. Held in deep by the Leafs. Misplayed in front of the net. Pulls and Sheehy will give chase there. Sheehy tries to center it. Knocked down. Oaks will try and clear. They'll kick it off the boards. We'll go on the other way. No icing, says linesman Dave Blondin. Played around to Corbin Deutsch. Deutsch runs into a little bit of difficulty. Spangler will pick it up. Oaks with the steal behind the goal line. Gives it up. Deutsch has got it. He'll come the other way, carrying it out to center ice. Gets it in there, and he'll dump it into the neutral zone, or into the defensive zone. Offensive zone. Oaks will break it out. Netherly comes in with a nice forecheck. They'll dangle. Make a pass around him. Pass the length of the ice. That'll go for icing. Two minutes left here in this first period. Oaks clinging to a 2-1 lead. Netherly, Mueller, and Poles will come in for the faceoff. Draw one by the Oaks. Back into the corner, but C.J. Mueller will get collected there. He'll feed it in front of the net. Redirected over to Gavin Netherly. Kicked out. Blaze Seegers gets a shot on net. Mueller will walk it around. Scrum in front of the net. Bit of a late shove there. Minute 41 left in the first period. It looks like we'll get Ross, Ruiz, and Heacock out for the faceoff to the left of the Oaks goalie. Oaks win the faceoff back to the corner. They'll wrap it around the back of the net. Heacock will give chase over there. Cleared out of the zone. Work down deep. Cody Cruiser's got possession of it. He'll play it behind the net. That's over to Beshin. Beshin will work it out of the corner. Up, we've got Nico Ruiz. He'll leave it for Joseph Ross. Oak steal. They'll send it the length of the ice, which apparently isn't an icing. Oaks collect behind the net. They'll battle for it there. Try and center it. No good. Ross up to Ruiz. Ruiz carries it through center ice with some speed. He'll take it wide. Shot on net is deflected. It'll go to the corner. Ruiz out in front. Nobody home. Ross fires it down behind the net. Oaks will collect. And break it out to center ice. Cruiser's there. Cruiser tries to chip it. Oaks get a nice walk in. They'll take it into the zone. Saints will fight for it on the half wall there. That's Sweeney. 20 seconds left. Sweeney and Ruiz coming down. Sweeney takes it wide. Gets a shot on net, and that's a save and a stoppage. 14 seconds left. Face off one. Back to Dubuque. Back to the point. Down behind the net. Mesrich loses an edge. He'll go down. Sweeney tries to fire it. Oh, that was Sammy Ruiz. Tries to fire it. The Oaks will go the other way, but run out of time. So at the end of the first period, score is not updated on my screen.
Dubuque 2-1. Shots on goal for Dubuque 7 for Des Moines 5.
Shots on goal are 7-5 after the first period. So the Saints will start the second period with the Netherly line. Poles and Mueller. One in. Poles will carry deep, gets a shot, just wide, or saved wide. Kick back in front of the net. Played off to the sideboards. A little more intensity looks like out of the Saints here this period. Netherly will force it down below the goal line. Wrapped around the back of the net. Poles is there. A little battle for it in the corner. The Oaks maintain control. They'll walk out of it. Nice turn. Try and chip it up the boards. That'll go outside the zone where Nolan will dump it in and on the net or on the net for an immediate offsides. Referee Blondin stops the play. Got Ross out there with Heacock and Ruiz. Oaks will win it. They'll play it up the ice. Henry back there. Lost behind the net. Kicked out in front. Ross levers. Oh, nice save by Stoll on a wraparound attempt. That's Jackson Heacock. He'll play it off the boards, and the Saints will give chase. Nice hustle by Nico Ruiz. He'll force it behind the net. Kicked out in front by Jackson. Oaks will break it the other way through center ice. Stolen by Liam Henry. He'll throw it up. Defender lost his edge, but Ruiz couldn't capitalize. He'll throw it in front of the net just off the post. Blaze Seeger's late to the party. Throws it on net. Just misses. Cody Cruiser will try and get it in. Oaks will steal it. They've got it in center ice. Playing it up. Dumping it in deep. We'll go around the back of the net. Oaks will win the foot race there. Battle on with Heacock and Cruiser. Cruiser gets control. He'll try and play it up to center ice. Nobody home. Oaks will regroup, re-attack. Stolen by Sammy Ruiz. He'll throw it out to center ice. Another Oak lost its footing. Might be slippery out there today. Sweeney maintains possession center ice. He'll leave it back for Cruiser. Cruiser over to Ruiz. Ruiz over to Beshin. Beshin will walk into the zone. Fired around the boards. To Cruiser. Out the blue line. Stolen. Sweeney maintains control. He'll get it back to Beshin. Beshin to Sweeney. Sweeney to Beshin. Fired on net. Saved. Sweeney regroups. Maintains control. Gets it down to Meserich. Meserich walks the goal line. Fires it out in front to Cruiser. Blocked. Cruiser gets the rebound. Blocked again. Oaks maintain control. They'll come out 2-on-1. Cruiser will run the guy down from behind and knock him down and get no call. Meserich will try and play it off the boards. It's held in by the Oaks. They'll force it deep. Win the battle or win the race. Oaks maintain possession behind the net. Fire it out to Cal Meserich. Cal will carry it down up to Sweeney. Sweeney's got a step. Loses control. Goes to the net. And that's a whistle. We're gathering there at the end of the play. I'm sure Sweeney and Meserich are just telling them the best places for pizza in town. Face off will move over to the left of the Oaks goaltender. We've got Sheehy Deutsch and Poles out to take the face off. Face off won by the Oaks. Saints gain control. Deutsch with a shot. Deflected in front of the net. Oaks gain control. They'll try and force it deep. Deutsch with the steal. He'll play it off the boards down to Poles. Poles on the boards. Chipped out. And Nolan Kretz will go back and try and play the puck. Mishandled. Stolen by the Oaks. Oaks play it down behind the net. Sheehy will go back and collect it up. Skirts down the walls. Stolen by the Oaks. Fired out. Up to Corbin Deutsch. Loses the handle on it. It's battled for in front of the Saints bench. Deutsch will force it deep. Down behind the net. Michael pulls with a little chip on it. Oaks carry it up to center ice. Hit the brakes. Deal with pulls. Back to the D. D to D. D up to the center ice. Harrington will carry it in. He steals it there. Loses a handle on it. Oaks recover. Fired to the center of the net. And a goal. Kenny with the goal. Big forwards gathered for a second there to discuss a strategy. Can only hope that involves scoring a goal, but we'll see. Face off one back to the Dubuque defender. That's Blaze Seegers. He'll carry it in. Play deep. Oaks had the puck. They'll go 2-on-1. Shot on net. Saved by Stoll. Walked around the back of the net. Again. Nice little elbow there to knock down Netherly. That was completely unnecessary. Henry will collect behind the net. Try and play it up. Gets it to Netherly. Netherly tried to work it up the boards. The Oaks are there. Held in at the deep by the defender. We're going to get a hand pass.
The one goal scored by number 34, Tommy King. Assisted by number 9, Owen Campbell. And number 17, Cooper Harrington.
Face off one back to Cody Cruiser at the Dubuque defense. We'll go D to D to Beshin. Beshin will lose the handle, and the Oaks will force it deep. Held in there. Beshin and Ross will battle for it. Oaks will walk out with it. Ross steals the puck. He'll carry it out to center ice. Over to Nico Ruiz. Ruiz walks the line. Gives it off to Jackson Heacock. Heacock will fire and just missed the net. Cody Cruiser down low to Joseph Ross. Ross makes a turn. Walks from the goal line. Tries to slam it in. Stopped by the Des Moines goaltender. Back to Cruiser. Cruiser down to Ruiz. Ruiz back to Cruiser. Cruiser will dump it deep. Jackson Heacock will give chase there. Nolan Kretz in front of the net with a... Whoa! So he's got a little interesting there for a second. Jackson Heacock made the attempt to slam it home. Goaltender had a save but left it loose. Heacock tried to force it in. The defenders took some objection to it, but in the end, everyone skates away happy. Face off one back behind the Oaks goal. Played around the net. Chipped up over the defense. And the Oaks will come down. Partial breakaway. Forced just wide by Nolan Kretz. Oaks recover behind the net. They'll fire it in front. Saved by Stoll. Meserich. Meserich up to Sweeney. Just off his stick. He'll go into the Saints offensive zone. Oaks recover. They'll force it back. It's Cam Spangler there. She'll play it up. Slow pass to Cody Sweeney. He'll play it over to Sammy Ruiz. Ruiz with a shot. Saved by the Oaks goaltender. One back. Bashing gets a shot on net. Saved by the Oaks goaltender. Kick to the corner. Sweeney will regroup there. He'll force it down low to Meserich. Meserich in front of the net. Oh, that's Ruiz who tries to slam it home. Oaks collect it. They'll break it out. Out to center ice. Ruiz will keep forcing it there. The Oaks gain possession. They'll drive the net. Chipped off. Battled forward by Seegers. Walk behind the net. Oaks turn. Go back behind the net. Nice pass. Continuing to possess behind the net. Fire it out in front. Up to the D. Move the camera. Out of the zone. Saints will have a little time to collect it here. Beshin maintains control. He'll pass it up to Messerich. Stolen. Pushed back in. Beshin again. He'll carry it up the ice. Dumps it off to Sweeney. Sweeney into the zone. Shot just wide. Messerich collects it in the corner, or attempts to. Stolen by the Oaks, and they'll come the other way. Oaks possessing center ice. They'll come down. Besson tries for a hip check, and the Oaks defender stepped just out of it. $7:25 left on that icing call. Saints will work it up. That's Deutsch. Deutsch down the sideline. He's got Sheehy cutting to the center. Shot saved. Sheehy's got it behind the net. He'll muck it there. Battle lost. Cruiser fights for it, loses it. Poles gets worked, and we're 2-on-1. Kretz back on defense. Fired just wide of the net. Nice save. Sheehy's got it. He'll tip it back to Deutsch. Deutsch will carry it in. Fire it on net. Save. Kick to the back of the net. Deutsch back behind to Sheehy. Sheehy out in front to Poles. Poles fires just wide. And the net's off. Nice little tic-tac play there by Deutsch and Sheehy and Poles. Face off one back to Poles. Poles gets a shot on net. Just wide. Worked out of the corner by Netherly. Oaks will work it behind the net. They'll break it out. Get around Spangler. Netherly back check. Worked in the corner by the Oaks. That's CJ Mueller. Gets pinched off, but he'll clear it to the center ice. Dumped back in by the Oaks. Around the back of the net. Sagers can't get to it. Oaks will force it down low. Netherly's got it. Ooh, takes a nice shoulder. Played out. Poles will give chase. Force back up. Spangler steps into the play. Oaks carry it in. They'll take their offensive zone. Fired just wide of the net. Chipped around Spangler. Tried to play it in front of the net, but Stegers was there. Joseph Ross has it. He'll try and work it down the boards. Runs into a bit of a roadblock. Played back behind the net. That's Cam Spangler. And Spangler turns, and she'll go back where she came from. Runs into some difficulty there. Joseph Ross picks it up. He'll try and hit Pulls on the breakout. He will not. So we'll go for an icing. Some problem with the clock. I'm sure they're telling them that they forgot to start it on time, so they run after. To remind everyone that we're just volunteers here. Even the webcast guy. Well, now there's some discussion. The referee's going to say if you forgot to start it, then you should have stopped it when you were supposed to and subtract the time. I have a time of 5:16, which is pretty close. They've got 5:17 up on the clock. Sure, the world is being decided at this JV high school hockey game today. We've now wasted more time talking about the time that we've lost. So face off now. Ross will fight off and win it somewhat to a cruiser. Oaks steal it. They'll force it towards the net. Peshin plays it off, loses an edge. Up to Ross. Ross will carry it through center ice. Forces it wide. He'll kick it to the front of the net where nobody is. Forced down. Sammy Ruiz. That's actually Nico Ruiz. Back to Beshin. Beshin walks the line, gets it over to Cruiser. Cruiser down the half boards, off to Jackson Heacock. Behind the net. Heacock will try and get it in front of the net. Couple saves there. Joseph Ross puts a hip into someone. Jackson Heacock picks up the hitting. All three Saints forwards battle for it on the boards. And play it around. Behind the net. Bryce Beshin will try and get it there. Back to Heacock again behind the net. Played up. Stolen by Cruiser. The Oaks will try and get it out. Ruiz will force him back in, and they'll restart. Reset back behind the net. D to D. D to center in front of the net. Never works out well. Somehow, we didn't capitalize on that. At a loss for words right now. Played down. And we're going to get an ice. Face off one, Sweeney, back to Beshin. Beshin dumps it deep to Meserich. Meserich battles in the corner there, gets wrapped around the back of the net. Nolan Krutz will go down to the hash and try and hold it in. Stolen by the Oaks, they'll bring it out. Walk Sammy Ruiz. Fired just wide, though. Spangler up to Sweeney, who knocks it back to Ruiz. The Oaks will come back to collect. Oaks behind the net. Try to break it out. Sammy Ruiz is there. He'll hold it in. Forced up against the board. Sweeney will knock it deep. Meserich will meet them behind the net. And he's most likely going to get a checking from behind. Oaks maintain possession. Goaltender skates out. Man, that guy skates like a goalie. Oaks will fire it down. Kratz will touch up. Sammy Ruiz will argue that it wasn't a rough. The ref will say, no, it wasn't on you, Ruiz. It's Meserich. So Meserich, somewhat lucky to be going to the box for just a rough.
Immediate penalty on number 14, Callan Meserich. 2 minutes for roughing. 2:49 remaining in the second period.
2:49 left in the second period. Dubuque will send out Heacock and Ruiz on the penalty kill. Oaks win it back. Back to the D. They'll go D to D. Walk it to center ice. Poker will turn. Fire it across ice to a horrible shot. Just awful. Worked around to the other D. Knocked down into the slot. They'll walk it. Take a wide open shot in front of the net. It's tipped. Tipped again. All kinds of loose pucks here. Cruiser tries to make an attempt. Still loose. Still loose. Fired up to Ruiz. He'll hold it in. Beshin will play it back to Cruiser. Cruiser will wrap around the boards to Ruiz. Ruiz will force the Oakleafs to think about their life choices and regroup behind the net. Played in front. Jackson Heacock will force the issue. The Oaks will carry it out. Circle back and regroup. Walking it through the middle. Still walking. Drops it off to the D. Blocked. Up into the net. I didn't start the clock there. .53 seconds left in the penalty. Sheehy and Deutsch will be out there for the faceoff. Sheehy wins it up the boards, and then he'll push the issue to the D. D to D. Coker controls it there. He'll force it down low. Walk to the middle. Shot saved by Stoll. Behind the net. They'll kick it out to the D again. Deutsch is there. He gets a piece of it and follows it through. Deutsch pressures it. Sheehy tries to help him out. Walk down the middle. Shot wide. Not soccer, boys. Back to the D. Elliott's got it there. He'll take a shot on net. Saved by Stoll. Walked Sheehy there. Stoll tries to recover. He's on his back.
1 minute remaining in the second period.
1 minute left in the second period. 7 seconds left in the Messerich penalty. Played to the front of the net. Loose. Oaks missed the wide open man on the backside. Messerich comes back out on the ice. Deutsch will try and clear it. Up to Sheehy. Sheehy's got it center ice. He'll get it up to Messerich. Messerich walks. Gets a nice shot on that. Puts the defenser on his butt. Messerich out in front. Sweeney can't bury it. He'll recollect. Fire it on net. Just wide. Beshin out to Sweeney. Sweeney doesn't get a shot. There was a chance of a 3-on-0 there. Saints recover. Battle in front of the Oaks bench. And that's the period. So after 2 periods, we'll go to the locker room. Oaks 3, Saints 1.
Through 2 periods of play, Des Moines 3, Dubuque 1. Shots on goal for Dubuque 18, for Des Moines 12.
So it looks like the Saints will start the third period with Ruiz, Ross, and Heacock on forward, and Spangler and Kretz will handle the defensive duties. Face off one. Oaks will dump it deep. Didn't make it to the red line before they did that, so we've got an ice. Referee Blondin explains to the referee what icing is. It's when you shoot the puck from one side of the red line and it goes past the goal line, which is what happened. So the Saints will restart to the right of the Leafs goaltender. One back. Ruiz will battle for it there. Leafs will break it out. Oh, and Kretz is going to get an interference call. They're not attempting to play the puck. Coach Willenberg disagrees with the call.
27, Nolan Kretz, 2 minutes for interference at 14:39 of the third period.
The referee says you're wrong, and he has the water volume. So Des Moines wins the faceoff. Back to their D. Carries it, fires it on net. Redirected, saved by Stoll. Walk behind the net. To the half wall. Cross ice pass. They'll maintain control there. Takes it out to the D. Fires it to center ice. Stolen there. Messerich had it momentarily. Tried to play it up to Sweeney. Lost control. It'll be played back. Oaks through center ice. Into the attacking zone. Fired on net. Save. Kicked in front of the net. Cleared out by Cruiser. Oaks steal the puck in the corner. They'll try and walk. Sweeney with the steal. Oaks will maintain though. Takes it up to the point. Fired in front of the net. Pass mishandled. The Oaks will take it over the wall. Go to the D. D to D. Shot deflected. Out of play. Minute left on that Kretz penalty. The Saints will send out Ruiz and Heacock forward, and Spangler and Seegers back on D. Scholes says as long as he's in net, he'll just stay there for this penalty kill. Face off one by Des Moines. Back to the D, fired on net. Rebound. Two nice saves by Stoll there. Maintained behind the net. They'll get it back to the D, down to the forward. Ruiz will chip it up. Heacock will give chase. Force to the neutral zone, and he'll chip it in deep. And apply pressure behind the net. Oaks will try and play it up. They'll get it to center ice. Back to Spangler. Spangler will play to neutral ice. Oaks will possess and take it in the zone. Off to the far side. Front of the net. Saved by Stoll. Now we're just 11 seconds left on that Kretz penalty. Button will send out 3 forwards. And they'll get Kretz to play D when he steps out of the box here in 11 seconds. Sheehy back to the corner. Bashing around. Sheehy will fight for it on the boards. Run in, still battle along the boards. Bastion will go work it in the corner. Shot on net, just wide. Bastion controls. He'll play it behind the net. Deutsch will fight for it. Out to the Oaks D. Held in there and pushed deep. Kretz will go back and collect it. Behind the net, he'll make a pass to Pulls. Pulls just misses it. Comes out. Oaks will dump it in. Bastion behind the net. Rakes it out to the Oaks player who can't hang on, so it'll go clear. Dump deep, and that'll be an offsides. And I forgot to start the clock. So there's actually 12:04 left in the third period. We're going to call that intentional offsides, apparently, so we'll go the length. Netherlands back for the faceoff. They'll win it forward. Attempt a shot on that is blocked. Mueller with the wraparound, saved. Another rebound, saved again. Chase pulls. Exchanging meatloaf recipes with the Oaks D. Referee Blondin steps in and says, no. They already have their recipes. Big face-off. One forward to the Oaks. Oaks go behind the net, trying to recover. They do. Broke out on the far side. Oaks will bring it up. Into the zone. Attempting center pass. Puck behind the net. That's Cody Cruiser back there. He'll try and break it up to CJ Mueller. Oaks will fire it across the front of the net. Again, shot wide from the Oaks D. Cruiser will go to the corner and try and play it out. Just met with some resistance. Mueller right to the Oaks forward, who steals it, and then he'll walk it to the corner. Oaks unchallenged on the near side. CJ Mueller, he's got it in the center of the ice. He'll carry it through the defensive zone, up to the neutral zone, loses it as he enters the zone, but gets it back. Comes in, shot on net, saved by the Oaks goaltender. .11 minutes left in this third period. Oaks clinging to a 3-1 lead. Joseph Ross in for the faceoff. Oaks win it back, and they'll circle behind the net. Out to Spangler, loses it in front of the net. Oaks will come. Drop to the front, far side, shot saved by Stoll. Up into the netting. Puck down, back to the Oaks D. They'll dump it deep. Spangler back there to retrieve. She'll play it up to Heacock. Heacock misplays it. Held in by the Oaks. Oaks will walk to the near side. Played down to the goal line, back out in front. Walked around, just missed the net. Got his own rebound. Fired on net, another save by Stoll. Heacock will try and get it clear. It's moved down the ice by Ruiz. Defense will recover. Heads up play will play it out to the center. Center cross ice pass to the near side to Coker. Besham with the steal there. He'll play it out of the zone. Watson will play it out of play. Ruiz will come out with Sweetie and Mesrich. Excuse me. Oaks win the faceoff. Back to the D. He'll dump it in. Besham will go back to collect it behind the net. Tries to play it to his partner. Loses it. Oaks get a shot in front of the net. Ruiz with the clear out to the D. D dumps it down behind the net. Cruiser will knock it loose there. Oaks play it out in front. Shot saved by Stoll. Ruiz up to Sweeney. Sweeney carries it through center ice. Takes the blue line off to Mesrich. Mesrich back to Sweeney. Sweeney battles for it on the goal line. Oaks steal. They'll play it up. Cruiser with the shot just wide. Far side in front of the Zam doors. Oaks will play it out. Ruiz will get just a piece of it. We get a 2-on-1 here. Cruiser back for the Dubuque. Played out in front. Wide open goal. Wide open goal. Cruiser did what he could there. Not sure where his defensive partner was. Stoll gave all he had. Got it the first save. And the rebound kicked out in front. So 4-1 now. Favor of the Oaks. Face off one back, and the Oaks forward. Sheehy will carry it down. Tries to walk in front of the net. Dropped. Like third period French class. Deutsch behind the net. He'll try and circle. Pulls will give chase. Oaks will play it up. We're going 2-on-2. Sheehy comes back and helps out a little bit. Shot on net just wide. Deutsch through the middle. He'll challenge. Shot just wide. Played behind the net by the Oaks. They'll attempt to bake it out here on the near side. Played wide. Looks like we're getting a nice here. No, played off as Stoll has to play the puck as it comes to the crease. Pulls, loses the handle on it. The Oaks maintain control. No, and Pulls knocks it out. Xander Sheehy trips the guy, man's down. Michael Pulls, 5-on-1. Doesn't care about the odds, gets a shot on net. Netherly will come out to center. Pulls and Mueller. Face off one back to the defense of the Oaks. They'll try and recover behind the net. Mueller will give chase. Netherly forces the puck. Chase Pulls will get down there and force the action as well. All three Dubuque forwards getting in for a nice forecheck. They'll kick it out to Spangler. Spangler maintains, gets it back down to Netherly. Pele kicks it up the boards. Pulls gets a shot, goes just wide. Mueller tries to walk it up the boards, loses the handle on it. The Oaks have control. They'll try the home run pass, which is missed, and goes for icing. Face off one back behind the net. Oaks will take it defensively and try and break it out. Home run pass up the middle. Knocked loose. Oaks recover. They'll carry it in. Get a shot on net. Saved by Stoll. Recovered by Heacock. He'll throw it out to the D. D fires it in. Nico Ruiz, he'll try and break it out. He gets it out into the neutral zone. Oaks recover. They'll play it up. Ruiz still gives chase. Run into Cruiser. Cruiser battles in front of the net. Tries to play it up to Heacock. He'll lose a handle. Oaks will play it wide. Ref's arm will come up. And that'll be an icing. Ruiz in for the faceoff. He'll win it over to Meserich. Meserich back to Seeger. Seeger over to Besham. He'll dump it down deep. Oaks maintain possession behind the net. He'll try and get around Meserich. Doesn't make it easy. Steals the puck. Oaks take it back. Sweeney will battle in the corner now. Try and play it up. Pinched off the puck. Wrapped around. Now Meserich puts an elbow or shoulder into him. Out to the neutral zone. Besham will go back and collect. Circles behind the net. Cut off there by the Oaks forecheck. Ruiz can't clear the zone. Sagers will go back. He'll try and play it up to the boards. The Oaks are there. Stolen puck. Meserich has got it. He'll bring it up the boards in front of the benches. Gets bumped off to Sweeney. Sweeney tries to cut in front of the net. Sager steps in. He's got the puck. He'll shoot. Goal! Oh, looks like Cal Meserich is leading us through the pack there. I'm not sure if he got a piece of that Sager shot. It was a beautiful hold by Sagers, and he threw it at the net. I believe it was Meseritz that got a piece of it and redirected it past the Oaks goaltender. Shots are getting a little more even. We're at 22-21 in favor of the Saints now. Oaks will win the faceoff back to their defensive zone. Maintain control. They'll carry it out. Knock loose at center ice. They'll carry it in the offensive zone. Stop there by Nolan Kretz. Jackson Heacock will play it up to Nico Ruiz. Ruiz will carry it in. Shot on net.
Number 15, Blake Seegers. Assisted by number 7, Cody Sweeney.
Looks like Seegers is the one that's going to get that goal. Apparently not tipped in front of the net. What do I know? I just run the camera. Shot by Kretz. Saved by the Des Moines goaltender. Sheehy will center Poles and Deutsch. One back to Cruiser on D. He'll shoot it into the Oaks defender. Besson will go back to get it. He'll be chased behind the net by Kinney. Run Besson off. Defense steals it. They maintain below the zone. Sheehy will carry it out. Lose an edge. Sheehy looks like he's hurt on the play. Played down. Ruiz will carry it in, take a shot. Shot wide. Right around the back of the net. Cruiser will battle there. Off to Deutsch. Deutsch will get a shot blocked. Rebound, kick back in front of the net. The Oaks will recover. They'll break it out. Tries to play it around Seegers. Seegers maintains the puck. He'll try and get it up to Deutsch. Deutsch will get a touch. Icing waved off. Played wide. Sweeney through the center ice. Stolen by the Oaks D. Sagers will try and play it through again. Up to Sweeney. Sweeney takes control, brings it in, gets a shot on net. Saved by the Oaks goaltender. Meseritz will try the wrap. Denied there. Kretz down low in front of the net. Played up the board. Spangler will take a shot on net. Oh! Fired right through the goaltender's legs. Goaltender. Goaltender had lost his stick on that play. Spangler took advantage of it. Laced it in from the blue line right through his legs.
Scoring for your Dubuque Saints, number 18, Kevin Spangler. Assisted by number 14, Talon Meseritz.
Saints will force it in deep.
3:38 of the third period.
Oaks will regroup behind the net. Broke his arm. Played through the center ice, back into the zone. Offside's called. Des Moines will get it outside the zone. Force it through center ice. Play behind the net there. Saints will get it deep. Fired on net, just wide. Deutsch will recover there. He'll play it back to Netherly. Netherly worked off the puck. Out in front of the net. Oaks play it wide. Stolen by Netherly. He'll dump it down in. Saints applying all kinds of pressure here. Played around. The Oaks will clear the zone out to center ice. Staggers will force it there. He'll get it deep. Oaks steal it. They'll chip it into their own zone. Netherly there with the steal. He'll force it back into center ice. The Oaks regroup. Forced it outside the zone. Cody Sweeney will play it down in front of the boards. He'll race down along the near side, fires it over to Meserich, who makes it just wide. Oaks play it outside the zone. Sammy Ruiz there. He'll hold it in. Forces it back to Beshin. Empty net on the Dubuque end. Play it in front of the net. Oaks will play it back to their D. Send it the length of the ice. Beshin gets a piece of it. He'll collect and go behind the net. Plays it up to Staggers. Staggers off to Sweeney. Sweeney off to Ruiz. Ruiz carries it in the zone. He'll take it to the net. Try a shot. Blocked. Saved. Rebound behind the net. Oaks will play it. Try to get the length of the ice. Dubuque will get a piece of it. They'll chase it down. Beshin loses the foot race. Slides in. And that's an open net goal. Looks like we're going to get a timeout. I'm guessing on the Dubuque side.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Kim's got him. It's not life threatening. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do there, so. Yeah. No, I got it. Thanks, Tim. So let's come back with an empty net again.
There we go. Play it around. Oh. It's like Sammy Ruiz is going to get a penalty here with 13 seconds left. Down by 2. Not 13 white, it's 14 white. That's Cal Meserich. They'll send Stoll back in for the face-off down in the Dubuque defensive zone. Dubuque will make several changes. Face off one, up the boards to the Oaks D. He'll play it down deep. Battle behind the net. Things getting a little chippy. And that's the game. Final score, Saints 3, Oaks 5.
Shots on goal for Dubuque 28, Des Moines 21.